Well, what to say about this week's episode? It's a decent action-packed story. It left little room to breathe, gave you exactly what you wanted, and the humour, the serious elements of the story, and the action, they were all balanced out. They were what they needed to be. With regards to writing, I have little to no complaints with it. It's a nice little character development to see Virgil fanboying over his idol Kip Harris, who's supposed to be this legendary firefighter. And, you know, we've seen Virgil being very calm, collected, the voice of reason, and the one who's probably the one that has sometimes more of a straight face than Scott does. But to see him light up, like, for example, a fan meeting David Hasselhoff from Knight Rider, it could happen. Or, you know, it'd be like a girl meeting up with one of the Spice Girls. You know, it's one of those fangasm moments. I just thought that was quite cute. You know, just to see Virgil has like this particular quirk. I found that highly amusing. Although Gordon almost making a fart joke. I appreciate some people would make that joke these days, but that's cringeworthy even for Gordon. I appreciate a lot of pre-teens and teenagers make fart jokes these days, but I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't need to see it in Thunderbirds. Just saying. And if Virgil fanboying over Kip wasn't cute enough, just to see Grandma, you know, going gaga, it's like, ooh, he's a hunk, you know, he's a hunk of hung. It's like, I love this version of Grandma. Gives no cares attitude, does what she wants, and I like it. Oh my gosh. And the nice icing on the cake is, for those that have the trained eye, you could tell there were elements used from the original series, The Mighty Atom, where they were trying to stop a fire out in the desert with a hydro plant that was connected up from the sea to pump water into the desert, so it would be able to produce greenery into places to have water where they couldn't have it. Similar circumstance here, so they're trying to cut off somebody poaching gas, or as Kip Harris says, gas bandits, for making off and using it for profit. And sad to say, the Chaos Crew were involved, yet again, but they were kept to a bare minimum, which, you know, is actually not bad. But like I say, I was, you know, impressed to see elements from Mighty Atom used in there, and it was done in a way whereby it wasn't taking over the focus of the episode, but it was used in a way where it's a little bit more up-to-date and modern. So, yeah, for writing, aside from a few minor nitpicks, writing was on point today, so, oh yeah. Well, the regulars nail it, as they so often do, and I really enjoyed Ramon T. Karam's performance as Kip Harris. Has this very kind of dry, I want to say a cross between a West Coast and a Texan accent that he puts on as Kip. It's got this very kind of working stiff type of tone. Been there, done that, seen it all before type of delivery. And, you know, for the use of this show, that actually works. I hope they bring him on again, because I thought he did a fantastic job this week. yeah, that's all I got to say about acting. Acting was superb as usual. Desert scenery and underwater beauty. Two of Weta Workshop's specialties, that and space. But yeah, I love the visuals for this week, and the visual of the height from Thunderbird 2 to the water surface from the cliff for Thunderbird 4 to drop in. I was like, ooh, that's a bit of a drop. But it was an impressive visual, and as said, underwater scenery is some of the areas where Weta Workshop shined the most, and this week was no exception. ITV Studios and Weta Workshop, and specifically Pukeku Pictures, I have an idea for your next venture. Should you want to continue going towards Jerry Anderson, give us a 21st century version of Stingray. You've already shown through Thunderbirds our Go that you can do underwater scenes like no other. There's your next idea, Stingray. But yeah, animation on point as ever. Well, as mentioned in the writing, this was a nod to the original series episode, The Mighty Atom, and as I've already mentioned in writing, it was adapted in a way whereby it's being modern, but at the same time it's paying homage to what happened over 50 years ago. The only difference is this time the hood does not have a little robot remote control mouse that is able to take pictures through its eyes, and didn't scare Lady Penelope in Thunderbird 2. Now, would the 2018 version of Lady Penelope be spooked out by a mouse? I don't know. Really couldn't tell you, but that would be an interesting set of circumstances to see how she would react to that today. But yeah, it's a good nod. And now for my final thought. It was a decent episode, action-packed. I've got little to no complaints with it. I think the only nitpick to make was the implied fart joke that Gordon was making, but in terms of discrepancies, it's like here, it's not even noteworthy enough. But yeah, I've not got anything really to complain about. Major plus point is that we finally have an episode where Thunderbird 2 has been brought back in, because I don't think we've seen Thunderbird 2 in this for a while. Because most of the other episodes have either been in space, involving the Chaos Crew. I mean, we've had 2 instances where John has been involved. 2 to 3 of the rescue missions this season have been with the use of Thunderbird 3. And as Mr. Silver TARDIS mentioned in the comments section, he's noticed this pattern as well, where it's self-contained, Chaos Crew, self-contained, Chaos Crew, self-contained, Chaos Crew. And, you know, we did the self-contained episode last week, now we're back with the Chaos Crew again, and makes you wonder what they were doing with that stolen gas tank. So I don't know. Be interesting to see where this one goes. But yep. Aside from that, great episode this week. Looking forward to episode 10, which means we're 4 weeks away now from the season 3 mid-season finale. It'll be intriguing to see what they have in store, because usually when they go for these mid-season breaks, they end on something big before going to the next one. I'm just hoping, and I can't be the only one thinking this here, don't leave it so long as you did for season 2. I mean, you went from January 2017 all the way down to like late September, early October of last year. It's like, that's a bit of a break, guys. But in their defense, that was down to the Foster brothers being overbooked for scoring duty, so I'm not going to hold it against them completely, but at the same time, you know, you don't want to be kept waiting that long, because that can, you know, make an audience go elsewhere. But anyway, talked long enough. Until next time, good night from the night, and see you next mission.